Okay, now we're being recorded, so shh. Hold on, my dog wants to get in. Okay, so guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. Before we start on talking about growth and everything that we said we would talk about tonight, I wanted to remind everybody, and I want to show you guys a visual. Every year, I do a little Christmas card. Can you guys see? To my customers. Now, you guys know that the graphic designer that I use, her name is Montana Cole. She only charges you $10 to do these. Super, super cheap. So here's the unique part about my Christmas card is on the opposite side, I have a little $10 gift certificate that they can spend in the new year. This generates sales when after Christmas, when you're like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? Well, that your Christmas cards start coming in, and they always buy more than $10. And so it just generates activity. And then what you do is you turn that activity or that sale into a booking by saying, oh, I would love to give you this for 40% off, or, whatever you want to do, whatever your booking strategy is. If you get 3 gals together to do New Year, New You makeovers. All right. So this was my card last year. And as you can see, we keep the same theme, so I don't have to really pay that much. I just add my new pictures. So this was the year before, and then here's my $10 gift certificate on this side. So I love this idea. It was my idea. Yay for me. All right, so there you go. All right, so this call is being recorded, so if you want to listen again, you can. So what we're going to talk about today is preparing for growth. We talked a little bit about that last week as we talked about, could you pay your family with your Mary Kay business? And what I want to do is equip you with everything that you need to be able to, build. What people forget when they join a business like this is you literally are building a business from the ground up, all right? I didn't make $5,000 a month week 1, all right? I'm going to tell you what my victories were as a brand new consultant. My very first week, didn't hold an appointment, I sold a lipstick. And the lipsticks back then were $10. So I made $5. And what the attitude that I had was, and I learned this firsthand early on, read it in the book, is everything is always great. Business is always great. And so that very first week, went back to church that next Sunday after my first full week in Mary Kay. And I had a friend of mine who was in sales, and he said, well, how was your week? And I said, great. Didn't need to give him any details. He didn't. How was sales? Sales were great, more than I've ever sold. And it was. I never sold anything before. So that is, I built on that $10 sales, and so I want you to get into the mindset for December, all right? Because you're either one of two people. One, you've shut down because you've told yourself, everybody's busy. Nobody's going to book with me. All right. I want you to erase that thought. Y'all, if you were on just a few minutes ago, we've had 5 basketball games in 7 days, but I still managed to hold 2 appointments and sold $800 total. All right. I have to eat. My kids have to eat. So I have to work. And so I'm creative. People are still holding appointments. So with my crazy schedule, I just counted up my December, and we're going to talk about strategy in just a second. We have 12 more games in December, and then it's either games, Christmas programs, or football awards dinners. Okay, so it's 12 things where I cannot go out and work. So 12 of my nights are taken. I already have 8 appointments taken that are either grand openings or my appointments. And I still want to work more. And then, when you look at Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, things like that, if you take those 6 days out, I'm left with only 4 days left that I can hold a nighttime appointment. Well, I want to work more than that because I like to have a big Christmas paycheck. And so the strategy that I have, and I want to get you into that mindset of thinking outside the box, is this weekend when in my downtime, like I had any downtime in between games, I went through my referrals. And what I did was I thought, who is home during the day? Who do I know that was home during the day would give me with referrals of people that are home? So the first thing I went to were my teachers. Why? They're going to get the next 2 weeks off, right? They can hold an appointment during the day. So I can go hold more appointments. I've got daytime wide open. And so those are your fillers, right? So when you're so busy, and I get that, believe me, I get that. When you're so busy, you can always find another time slot to work your business, whether it's the fillers, which is the facials, the daytime morning facials, things like that. So that's what I want to get you excited about, is thinking outside the box, because you can work this business anyway, anywhere, anytime. All right. So strategy is the first thing. You've got to take time to work out a plan. All right. I read a book once. It was called Thinking for a Change, and it was by Dr. James. It was by John Maxwell. He doesn't have doctor in front of it. That's Dr. Dobson. He's a preacher, theologian, and an author. So anyway, John Maxwell writes a lot of financial books, a lot of thinking books, a lot of motivational books. And he wrote one called Thinking for a Change. And one thing that I took away, because it's a deep read, and I do not do well with deep reads, I'm just going to tell you. But one thing that I got from it, and then I probably closed the book, was you should spend at least 1 hour per week quietly in a room in a special place. That's your thinking room. All right. You can have a special chair in there. It doesn't have to have any furniture or anything. It's just where you go to think. And he talked about at his office that he has an office, but he also has a room with just his favorite chair in there with nothing else. And his staff knows not to bother him when he's in that room. That's his thinking room. That's where you get your ideas, your creativity. You start thinking outside the box. And so I want you to get into the habit of start thinking or planning your thinking time, all right? Strategizing your growth, your plan for growth. And so, so I told you about how I did that this weekend, and I thought about my teachers. They're going to be off. And so, y'all, I have 2 teachers to call tomorrow. And then I booked a teacher. I actually held an appointment for a teacher yesterday, and she and her daughter, who's dating the principal, gave me all kinds of names, and they've already called me and said that the principal wants to meet with me because she loves Mary Kay and she lost her consultant. So not only, do you see how big this has gotten? I'm going to be so busy at Christmas. I love it. My kids love it. They know that's more toys. All right. So get into the habit of spending more time thinking for your business and creative, and getting those creative juices flowing. So, and while you're thinking, ask yourself, what's working for me? All right. What is working and what's not working? And then analyze, why is it not working? Because we talk about this a lot. Sometimes the things that are not working, you just really need to change your words. And here's where we, as your sales directors, want you to communicate with us, because we don't know what you're saying. We don't know what you're trying. We don't know how your numbers are playing out. This is where we need you to play ball with us, because we've blazed the trails. We've made the mistakes, and we want to help you be, more. We want you help you be more successful faster than we were. All right. So analyze those things about your business. This is what all business owners do. You are a business owner. You're not in a club. You're not in a sorority. I know we act like we're in a sorority sometimes. We're a great sisterhood, but ultimately, you have $1 million business at your fingertips. You just got to get that starter kit out of the closet and go use it, all right? And so we're here to make you money and teach you every single thing that we know to help you make money, all right? No other company does that. We talked about that last week. We're different, we're unique, and nobody else can mimic us. All right, so how many irons do you have in the fire? So this whole call is going to be about growth. When I talk about irons in the fire, so not only last week you heard that at Thanksgiving break, I took an hour to create, to think, and to strategize. And so I got more vendor or lead generating events planned for myself. And so what I feel like during my best years were the years that I consistently had 3 or 4 lead generating events. Okay, so I'll tell you, and in the past when our team was thriving and we had some leaders emerging like Marianne and Trinity, I kind of scaled back on my lead generating events. And now I'm slowly getting back to adding 3 or 4 to my year. All right. So like we talked about. So what are your irons in the fire? Now, here's the thing. You may not like doing booths or those lead generating events at the expos, the baby expos, bridal fairs. You may not like that. I don't like to warm chatter. Marianne is really good at warm chatter. I don't know if Trinity's good at it or not. I know she does booths and she's great at booking. She is so awesome at booking from the classes. She probably doesn't even need 3 or 4. She's just mastered that. But unless you've mastered that like Trinity, I mean, September she had 27 parties on her date book. So unless you've mastered that and you've gotten your date book all filled up like that, you've got to figure out where your irons are that's going to generate and pull the different demographics, all right? The stay-at-home moms, the new moms, the millennials. Where do you have this? And so that was my thought process over Thanksgiving break was, I need to get back in front of the new moms again. I need to get back in front of the older moms, the established moms. And then I have my Perry Fair, which brings in all demographics. And that way you're building a melting pot of women who are coming into this business for different reasons, all right? Some are going to be gung-ho and just run straight to the finish line. Some are going to be your steady Stellas. Some are going to be your really great customer builders and build really great solid customer base. You need that kind of variety. You need a melting pot. And with the irons that you have in the fire, do you have that melting pot going where you've got that coming in? And so that's what I want you to be thinking about when you're thinking and looking around your area. I know we're all not from the same area, but start Googling these events and talk to me about what your process is, your thought process of where you're going to get these people. I used to do a lot of moms groups, and I just booked a moms group in South Carolina with 45 moms on February the 7th. I'm counting that as one of my events. I know, right? I'm going to do 45 people at once. But you see, that's exciting because I'm going to South Carolina. I'm going to be building a new territory. You may not think that big yet. That's okay. I've always been a big thinker. All right, so are your systems in place? So as I'm talking about you building in these demographic areas and geographic areas, if you don't have your systems in place, you might be having like a panic attack right now. And what I can tell you is until you go out and do 7 to 10 parties, boom, 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 by yourself, your systems are not going to be mastered. And that is when I say talk about systems, that's where do you consistently play the referral game? Because I promise you, until you get to 7 to 10 parties, you forgot every time. You walked away from some really great classes with some really sharp women and you totally forgot the referral game. Guys, that is, when you've mastered that, you get to count that as a lead generating event. Okay, so that's one of your 3. one of your three. And so you got to master that, because that's where these new people are coming in. If you master booking that party right there on the spot, that can count as two. And so I'm telling you, because I know Trinity does booths, so she's got her three right there. I like to have more, just because I like to stay busy. No matter, even though we were busy this week, I still managed to plug it in. It's so easy to plug your business in to generate that income. I sold $800 in 2 days at 2 appointments. One took me an hour and a half. One took me 2 hours. 3.5 hours, $800, $400. And we were at basketball literally all week. And love this business, guys. Love it that, I can get our calendar and go, oh my God, where am I going to work? Oh, plug. There you go. There's my paycheck. All right. So what I want you to do when you've got these things lined up all year long, what you're doing is you're taking control back. You are totally in control. And there is nothing more peaceful to a woman. And I know Richard's on, if there's husbands listening, there's nothing more peaceful to a woman than having control. We love control. I know the Bible talks about us being submissive, and I am. But one of the things that intrigued me about my Mary Kay business was that, oh my God, you mean I get my own checking account? Oh my God, you mean I get to run my own business? I love that. If you were at Peach Retreat, you got a good laugh out of my rural story that I don't tell too often. I actually don't want it to be recorded. But I love having control. I loved having the power. And so, yeah, it's fun. You guys know that. All right, so talk to us, communicate with us. Now, y'all, I may lose it. This is saying that my internet is unstable. So if we get kicked off, I hope we don't get kicked off. I got some good stuff. All right. So talk with your director about your strengths and your weaknesses. And so the areas, because we really need you to master, certain areas so that you can maximize, the areas that you're strong in and really work on your weaknesses. Some of my weaknesses in the beginning was I was not good at sales. I was not good at recruiting. I wasn't really good at anything, but I'll tell you what I had: passion. And we're going to talk about passion in just a second. So your attitude, okay? I had a great attitude also. But we all tend to get a little negative because naturally there's a negative record that plays in our head. And you've got to write down what your negative record is saying and telling you. And what you've got to do is you've got to rewrite that song. And you rewrite that song by saying things like, I am a great salesperson. I am a great recruiter. I'm a booking machine. I book classes, 2 classes at every party I go to. You rewrite that record. I do deserve to be at the top. I do deserve to see my vision played out. You've got to, work on rewriting that record. Coming up in the next few weeks, we're going to talk about how to rewrite that negative record in your head that has been so plugged in. And when you start doing that, you're creating new pathways in the brain. And, that's personal growth right there. And we talk about personal growth a lot in this business because, y'all, people quit because of emotion. Your emotions are not real. They change with the wind. If you're a woman, you cannot rely on them. You've got to stop feeling so much and thinking more. I just heard that about the millennials. They grew up thinking or being taught how to feel. Stop feeling and think. This is a business. It requires thinking, okay? And so don't count on your emotions. At every level, there's a new devil. I'm going to tell you that never goes away. I still get doubt. And guess what I know? It is Satan coming at me with all guns blazing. And what I know when that happens to me, I say, there must be going to be something really great about to happen because he is really working on my emotions. Shut him down with scripture. Dig in. Use the armor of God. That's what the Bible is, the scripture, to fight him off and battle those terrible emotions that come at us, that plague us, that cause so many women to walk away from their dreams. They walk away from their dreams and their destiny because of the self-doubt, the negative talk that they do, and just the emotions, all right? So here we talked about people are still booking. They are. So get that out of your head that they're not going to book. They are. People are still booking. They want this product. And even today, you know what everybody said when they were stroking their check to me? One lady, $150, she goes, "Oh, Merry Christmas to me." People buy for themselves. So get out there. You are in the retail business. That's what retail people do. Don't shut your doors during the biggest selling month of the year. All right. That is insane. I'll say it again. That is insane. If you're not selling this product and out there booking appointments and holding appointments, what? Yeah, we won't even go there. All right. So you just have to change. You may have to change your words a little bit to figure out how to get the bookings, like I've been thinking and strategizing. But talk with your director. If your words aren't working, let's tweak them a little bit. January through June, magical. Right, Marianne? Right, Trinity? They both became sales directors June 30th at midnight. I became a sales director June 30th at midnight, 2002. It is magical. January, something clicked in me. Something clicked in Trinity. Something clicked in Marianne. It's just magical. January through June, I mean, people blow the doors. People break records. They break down belief barriers. And that's what it's all about. You can have anything you want in 6 months. All you have to do is make up your mind in the heart and in the mind. And it's done. It is done. What's next is just to go do the work. And you already know how to do that. You have the tools. And you got to put in the time, all right? And you got to ask yourself, what is it that you want? You knew you couldn't fail. What do you want? Dream big. Let God tell you. We say that all the time. Let God give you the vision. Don't be afraid of his vision. It's very exciting. God will show up and show out in your life, and he will make himself very real to you. I promise you, it is unbelievable. And have you watched all the videos, the training videos that we show to help you master the work, for you to go do the work? It's one thing to have a decision, to make your decision that you want something, heart and the mind, and then 2, master the skill to go do it, and then just go do it. And it's done. It is done. All right. So here's what I want to talk about: passion. Because I think so many people lack passion right now. And that is such a key element, because that was the one thing, my one strength that I had going for me, was that I was so passionate about this business. I saw it for what it was. The sky was the limit. I knew I was a hard worker. And I knew I could outwork anybody. I knew I could. I wasn't good at anything, but I could work like nobody's business. And when I saw the plan, I was like, just like I'm tearing up right now. And I know Trinity was the same way. She had 3 jobs or 4 jobs. And we're like, finally, we're going to get paid for what we're worth. And so that was my passion. And you guys can see it coming out right now. So you gotta reach for something that makes you tear up, because if you're not tearing up, you have no passion. You're flatline. Nobody is gonna follow you like that. And so get passionate about your business, your future, and where you're going. Okay, you gotta have that passion, even if you don't know how to get there. That is what we call faith. All right, you've got a vision, and I can remember sometimes, y'all, God will hide the path from us. Like I knew I wanted it. I knew what the top of the mountain looked like. I knew what the bottom of the mountain looked like. I couldn't see in between. I didn't know how the path was going to wind out. And see, I'm a control freak. I'm a micromanager. And so that in between kind of would rock my world a little bit. And I remember I was mailing my DIQ card in. That's your qualification card where you're telling the company, I want to be a sales director. I've got this many team members. I met the first requirement. I'm ready to get started. We used to have to mail them in. Now you just go online and do it. And I sat at the end of my driveway, and I'm going to tear up. And I said, God, I don't know what's in between. I don't know the path. I know the beginning, and I know what it looks like at the top. I can see myself at the top. I'm giving it to you. I'm walking in faith. I'm walking blindly in faith. and I mailed that card. And I'll tell you, Satan came at me with all guns blazing. Got inside, got my kids out. Ryan and Riley were, like almost 2, almost 4. Got inside, got them their lunch, and my phone rang. And I had just mailed my DIQ card. Y'all, I watched the mail lady drive off with my card. And this is how Satan works. And remember this, my phone rang. It was my old job. They were calling to tell me that they had just moved our office beside a daycare. Would I come back for $20,000 more? That would be $70,000 a year. And I said, I can make more than that, Mary Kay. Was I making that? No, no, I was not. But I knew Satan's tricks. And I said, no, I really want to be home with my boys. And I hung up the phone. Praise God that I listened, and I knew the difference between evil and good. And I did not veer from God's path. See, God will never, ever revoke a calling on your life. Never doubt why you're here, and never walk away, because if you walk away from something bigger and greater than you could have ever done with your own hand. Y'all, if I had gone into the mortgage business, that was 2002, 5 years later, I would have lost my home. We would have filed bankruptcy, because everybody in that company lost their jobs, and they all filed bankruptcy and lost their homes. Women, couples with $1 million homes no longer live in those $1 million. Those were my friends. They don't have those anymore. And I cannot ever give God enough glory about that. And I can't take any credit for that. All I know is that I was obedient. All right. So passion comes from the heart. It has nothing to do with the mind. Passion assists you when you have great dreams. It breeds conviction. See, I had a conviction. I knew I was such a young Christian that I knew enough that I never wanted to not do what God told me to do. That was my fear and my conviction. And so passion breeds conviction, and it turns mediocrity into excellence in everything that you do. I see so many people walk away, and I know that their life will not become who they were supposed to be, because they didn't finish their race. Passion will inspire people to join you. That's what I was talking about early. No one is on your team because they haven't seen your passion. All right. Set yourself on fire, and people will come to watch you burn. That is one of my favorite quotes I've ever read. And you guys know I use it a lot. Set yourself on fire, and people will come to watch you burn. Passion helps you to overcome obstacles, and you become unstoppable. Your life will become a statement that others will see their future in your eyes. All right, that's what passion is. That's why I was so good at getting people on board, because they saw my passion and my excitement, and they wanted to see themselves in the same way that I see myself. And that is passion. I can't say it enough. Don't make choices based on facts and percentages. They will always discourage you. All right. This is something I've struggled with, because I'm a realist, and I've always struggled with that. And so, but I work on it. I do work on it. And so what realists do is, if they see numbers and percentages and facts and black and white, but they live their life based on what is, not on what am I saying? What if I go out there and I throw my heart over the bar and I go for it? What if I become a sales director? What if I earn my first car? What if I become a national sales director in this many years? What if, not what is? What if you can have the success that you dream? What if you can have the financial freedom? All right. You have a vision for a reason, all right? A dream for your life and your family is in your heart. That's passion. That passion is part of you. You already have it. It's just dormant. So take it and go, all right? Finish strong and finish strong to start strong. That's all you have to do. Now, I want to let Marianne and Trinity share a little bit if they've got something they want to say. I know we're at 9:30, but I just hope that you saw my passion for the potential that you have and that I have for this business. Who wants to go next? Do I pick one? Trinity, you want to share?
I don't even think I can follow that, Michelle. I am blown away. I'm inspired myself, so I'm good with leaving it at exactly what you just said.
Oh, you're so sweet. Marianne? Are you crying? We can't hear you. She knows. Okay, wrap it up. All right, so it looks like Marianne's having technical difficulties, and Hudson's here to pick a number. I can see everybody's name. 1, 2, 3, not counting me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out of 7 people, pick a number. Don't look at the names. 1. Anita, you're the winner.
Yay.
Yay. Thanks for being on the call, Anita. All right, guys,
Thanks.
I hope this was inspiring. We want to hear from you. We want to know your strategy. We want to know where you are, what you need help in. We want to play ball with you so we can finish strong to start strong. We're going to have an amazing, amazing 2018. All right, you guys have a great night. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.